Hey guys, this is Nate from Reds of the World, and we're coming to you live from Arizona after the first match of the preseason against Club America. Afterwards, we watched Ed Woodward's interview on MUTV and got a good look at the executive vice chairman and just how calm he is. It was amazing. So we're going to talk about Ed Woodward's interview first, and then we're going to move on to a quick match review and really give you the opportunity to comment, to talk about United's first match in a couple of months. It's great to see him back on the pitch. So after the match, Ed Woodward, they showed a pre-taped interview, and it was great to see him. He's always so calm. His love for Manchester United is clear. He has a huge job running the company of Manchester United, much less the football operations, transfers, a lot of the sponsors, all those things that normally happen. He's in charge, and it's pretty great to see him just being so calm, so collected, so cool, and just talking about Manchester United. He seems like a great fan of the club, wants to see them win, wants to see them win trophies, completely outside of his job responsibility. So for me, it's fantastic to see that. The first part of the interview, he was talking, it was more about just the club and being involved and what was expected, how he's worked with the manager, how much he admires Louis van Gaal, how they can sit down and have a glass of wine together and really get to relax at the end of a tough day and just talk about the club, talk about football. That's pretty great. He seems to really look up to Louis van Gaal as a winner, as seeing him as the right coach that he brought in. And to be honest, I wasn't quite sure about Louis van Gaal at the beginning. He obviously has a great resume, but he's a polarizing figure. He'll win at some places, and then he'll get kicked out of some places at the end. So it's really interesting, and I wasn't quite sure. I was in for some other managers, hopefully, once we had gotten rid of Moyes, and I was even in for Giggs. I was willing to give him a couple of seasons, but after last season, after getting to know Louis van Gaal a little bit better through the interviews, watching him manage, and being able to see some of the players he's buying, watching his philosophy come together, I've really enjoyed and am ecstatic to have Louis van Gaal as our manager. Watching Ed Woodward talk about his relationship with him, identifying characters, watching and waiting for Louis van Gaal to let Woodward know when it's time to buy a player, what players he's interested, giving him one or two or three names per position that he is interested in buying. That way, if the first one doesn't work out for whatever reason, we're right on to the second. A lot of the things that some of the stories have confirmed is pretty fantastic. Woodward did say when they moved into the second part of the interview about transfers that they're not checking the papers every day, seeing who they're linked to, and then deciding who they're going to buy. So I know that's going to disappoint some of the in-the-knows and even India, Kyla, but that's too bad. I mean, Ed Woodward and Louis van Gaal really seem to have things together. Woodward didn't really go into any specific names. I did see some stuff on Twitter about him stating Di Maria was not for sale. My MUTV feed went out a couple of times, so I wasn't sure if he said that or not. I did tweet that out, but it was from watching some other people who had been following the interview. So I'm not quite sure if he said that or not. I didn't hear him personally, but I'm hoping Manchester United takes a strong stance with Di Maria that we don't want to see him go. We want to see him stay another season. We want to see him be the Di Maria from the World Cup, the Di Maria we saw this summer at the Copa, running at players, scoring goals, being creative, and just wreaking havoc against other defenses. So I'm hoping that Woodward and Louis van Gaal are ready. If Di Maria's already said he wants to go and the club are willing to do that, I understand. I do remember Woodward last summer saying we only want players at Manchester United who actually want to be here at the club, and I imagine that stance hasn't changed at all. So it's interesting to watch Woodward talk, and at the end of the interview, he was talking about the ultimate goals of getting back to winning ways, of winning trophies. This is what Manchester United is, and it's so amazing to know that Woodward, our executive vice chairman, is on board with this philosophy, that we're here to win trophies. We're here to be the greatest football club in the world. We are the biggest. but we want to be the greatest. And the top man in charge, he's right in line with that. So that's pretty fantastic. I'm sure MUTV will be replaying the interview with Ed Woodward over the next couple of weeks. So if you haven't had a chance, I'm sure you'll get a chance to see it. It's great to watch him talk. We don't see him that much, except for at the matches and except for in some great memes on Twitter. But it was good to see Ed Woodward talking there. All right, so now let's get on to the match. I was so stoked for this match. I had my computer, my phone, my iPad up, all checking Twitter, watching videos, and just generally getting ready for this match. Coming about an hour before the match, we were looking for team news. Who was going to be playing the first 45? What team was going to be playing the second 45 minutes? And then, of course, the build-up, watching the guys come out, not in their new Adidas strips. Obviously, we still have a couple more weeks for that. But watching them come out, seeing Schneiderlin and Darmian and Depay, and then getting able to see Schweinsteiger in the second half, I was just through the roof. Tonight was an amazing night. It's only preseason. It's the first match, and you could tell a lot of that. The players weren't linked up together the way that you might expect them to be later into the season after they played with one another for a while. There were some miscues on passes, touches, back flicks, different things that the players normally do when they're used to playing with each other. Obviously, they've only been training with each other for a week, so a lot of that isn't expected. But what was so interesting to me to see is the fact that we won 1-0. Last summer, the first match of the preseason tour, we scored 7 goals against the LA Galaxy. After Moyes had left, after the World Cup, Louis van Gaal showing up just a day or two before we left for the preseason tour here in the United States, it was absolute insanity. So to score 7 goals, every fan was through the roof, and we went on to not lose any preseason matches, to win the trophy for the Intercontinental Cup, and then to go and lose our first Premier League match, looking confused the first few matches. That was interesting. And I even tweeted out before the match, I wouldn't be surprised to see us pull out another 7-0 win. Club America is an interesting team. They play in Liga MX in Mexico, and they're quick players, a lot of short touches, and a lot of movement by the players. But it was so amazing to watch Morgan Schneiderlin break up play after play after play after play. I mean, if anybody is a fanboy of this guy, it starts with me. When we signed Schweinsteiger, a lot of reports came out, and mainly from the Telegraph, saying that once we had Schweinsteiger, we were no longer interested in Schneiderlin. And I did not want to believe that, and it happened to obviously be completely false. Telegraph hasn't been that great. But bringing in Schneiderlin changes everything. He sits in front of that back four. He protects them. He breaks up plays, and he starts plays moving forward, getting the ball up to his midfielders, letting Carrick make a lot more of those passes where he can see the field, get to players on the wings, things like that. So Schneiderlin obviously is my man of the match tonight. Played great, scored a goal off of Mata's cross, the looping header over the keeper into the far corner. It was a brilliant way to start the match. And yes, I would have loved to have seen more goals. But in the end, it was great to get a 1-0 win. Watch our defense look solid. Sam Johnstone in the first half as keeper was brilliant. Second half, watching the young guys, Pereira, Januzaj, even Lingard out on the right, running at players, pace, fast. Even the first half, Luke Shaw, seeing him back on the left was amazing. So this match was really good. It was a good first match. Fitness, getting guys together, starting to learn link-up play. Club America has been playing for a while in some different competitions, so it wasn't like it was another club who's beginning their preseason. So two teams who are getting their fitness down, maybe not attacking each other. Club America played tough. There were some tough tackles, some hard tackles, some physical play, and I think that was the best possible thing for Manchester United, especially in the first half. Schneiderlin breaking things up, getting the ball out to his players. Rooney had a good chance from a ball from Memphis Depay. Depay made some great runs out there. Darmian, a right back, playing right back, defending like a right back. I mean, what more can you ask for? So coming into the second half, it was a bit of a dream come true seeing Schweinsteiger come out in a Man U kit. He was in the number 23. Saw some tweets kind of joking about the Cleverly connection and hoping Schweinsteiger didn't fall into that. But this guy is world class. Don't you doubt that when we've got Schneiderlin and Schweinsteiger and Carrick out on the field and Herrera, our midfield is the best midfield in the Premier League, bar none. And it's locked down for 5 years minimum. It's going to be a fantastic ride over the next few years for Manchester United. We lock down a couple of great center backs. We bring in a striker. Di Maria comes back, rested, healthy, raring to go and prove who he is this second season. I am so excited to see us in for all 4 trophies. So tonight's match, starting out with a 1-0 win, maybe even struggling to try to get some of the offense going. I don't mind that. Starting 7-0 last year really got our expectations high, and just continuing to play well isn't a bad thing. But when we got to that first match, I don't know if we just took Swansea, we didn't take them as seriously as we should have, so that was really frustrating, obviously, at the beginning of the year for all of us. But this season, we start with a 1-0 win. Confident, secure, quiet, Schneiderlin being my man of the match and scoring the goal. And then, obviously, watching Andres Pereira do amazing after the World Cup this last summer for him and Brazil, making it all the way to the final. And even in the second half, watching Schweinsteiger be so calm on the ball, turning, twisting, passing the ball out of situations, even running at players. You know, he's 30, and if you listen to Arsenal, Liverpool, or City fans, even Chelsea fans, you would think the guy was 42 and used a cane when he was on the pitch. It's ridiculous. He's running at players, creating things, and I don't doubt we're going to see anywhere from 5 to 10 goals from him this season in all competitions. He is a world-class midfielder lined up with other world-class midfielders for Manchester United. Who thought it would have taken us 5 years to fix our midfield problems? But Louis van Gaal and Ed Woodward have done it, and I'm proud of them, and I'm proud to be a Manchester United fan. So, next match, we're off to California, July 21st, next Tuesday. We play the San Jose Earthquakes. We'll be putting up a preview for that the day before. And talking about the Earthquakes, they played a couple of good matches in the Intercontinental Cup. They did lose tonight to the LA Galaxy 5-2 in a pretty good match. Gerrard scored his first goal for the Galaxy. Who cares? But in the end, I think San Jose, we should get a better feel for this squad. Louis van Gaal did say that he's going to be playing the 45-minute thing with 2 different squads for the first 2 matches, so I think we should expect to see the same thing. But I do think we'll start to see players linking up better, and most likely we'll be seeing a few more goals in this second match. So if you have any comments about this, anything about what I've said, maybe things you want to see us talk about here on Reds of the World, put your comments below, subscribe to the channel. We're going to try to be bringing some great content as we get this Reds of the World started. You can also check out my blog. It's redsoftheworld.wordpress.com, and we talk about, obviously, all things Manchester United. So great win tonight for the team, 1-0. Morgan Schneiderlin is my man of the match, and I'm excited that Manchester United is back. We're ready to go and compete on all 4 fronts this year.